Morning guys, today we're going to talk about changing rollers on a Piaggio NRG. Now, it's the same, give or take, changing rollers is all the same. You have the variator system and you have to get that off to get to the rollers. On this one though, this is a lot harder because on the speed fights you can just generally get the claw hammer like I show you in other videos, tap it in. This one wasn't having any of that, it hasn't got the same bit on the front here, so I had to use mole grips. I mean, you can sometimes use other little bits and bobs as well, but this one I use mole grips, and it's a case of being a bit of a monkey. You have to use your feet as well, and then put your hands here. It's always my big bar, you know. When you use a small ratchet and you're spanking it one, you can damage the nut. So I find a big bar always really helpful. But this one I used mole grips, put my feet here as well, put my other foot there. I don't know if you can see I've got a claw hammer here as well, and it was just a case of getting them off. So the cover comes off, out comes the starter bendix, because you can't get your claw hammer in there, and then eventually, as you can see here, with the feet and did it WD-40 as well, I managed to get the nut off, well, loosen it anyway, which is a bloody handy. Otherwise I don't think I'd have got it off, and I'm keeping it like that when I tighten it back on again. Nut not damaged at all, which is really handy. And then up comes the base plate. See, it's not got the little fan on the other one that you can normally grip into. Off comes the belt. I hope you can see this. Now on these, what happens is you only get the rollers off first. The back plate on these have got teeth. Here are the rollers. They're not really bad, but they're very light. Okay, these are going to be 7 grams. Yeah, I prefer that. These probably feel about 4. What she was doing, she's pulling away. Top end's great, bottom end you've got nothing. Yeah, and then she takes off like a bat to hell. These are fast bikes, these NRG Powers. They really are fast bikes. You get a good amount of speed out of them. Remember what I said, no oil, no spray. Wipe these all with just a clean rag. Take your old rollers out. In here, clean rag, comes very dirty. Rub in all of the little crevices, okay? Get that sparkling clean. You need to get this back plate off, which is a little bit, really. It will come off. It's just a case of, you can WD the actual shank if you want to get this off. You can see the teeth in there. This is actually teeth as well. So what you end up with in here, this shank here, it's got teeth on it, and it can become quite tight to get them on and off. But this is your oil pump. There's obviously your clutch, which you know about. Belt's good, so that's all good actually. So it's just a simple case now of finding these little bits. Don't leave these off, okay? There's 3 of these. They often get lost, okay? They go nicely in little spaces, okay? You can buy these separately. Polini do sets, Molossi do sets, but you must put them back, okay? It's 100%. And obviously you give this a little clean, as I said. Clean all the 6 areas. If you don't, I mean look, it's very dirty. If you don't, and that's just roller carbon basically, the new rollers will go in there just the same as the old ones, and they'll end up jamming the same way. So there's no sense. Don't put any oil or anything. I can't stress enough, you know, oil's great, but it doesn't work in here. It has to be bone dry, and that's what works in here. So nice and clean, and 1 roller, 2. As I've done in other videos, I often combi them. With speed fights I do, I sometimes put 4 and 8s, 5 and 10s, you know, in each other one. But now you can see these should roll nicely. Now that one's not, if you notice, it's sticking, okay? Can you see? Actually I can do this quite easy, look. It's sticking, okay? That's no good, alright? That's no good. It needs to be able to roll around, and you need to clean that, okay? If it still doesn't do it, okay, if it still doesn't do it, I've even shaved them down a little bit, because they have to roll around, so they should fall out, okay? That's that, simple as that. That's all it was. So you put them all back in again. Sometimes, you know, it's from the manufacturer, they might have a little bit of extra bit on the side or something, but basically they all should roll around. Can you see that now? And this is what they do when you're riding along basically. They're not all doing it independently, but you know, that's lovely, that's perfect. I'm happy with that. This goes back on the cover, and that's what I'm saying about them little other little bits that have to go in there. This then obviously give this a clean through in the middle, because this is what they spin on, you know. It all needs to be nice and clean. I said don't use any oils with these, you're just gonna, there you go, just a simple little like magic trick. You know, we just lost Paul Daniels. I nearly wanted to say you like it, not a lot, but there you go. He was a good magician. I'm babbling, but I just thought I'd chat anyway. Right, there we go. Now on this, there's a little bit of decoration on there. Okay, I'll put that on the outer side so it won't matter so much. If I can't clean it off, I've often got a bit of emery here, it's coming off. So I will take that off with a little bit of emery cloth. Let's just do that. I've got a little bit somewhere. Hang fast, guys. There we go. You don't want to scratch it up too much. A little bit of green. Just take it off. You know, again, that's just belt rubbish. That is, sticks to it. Now you don't want to make it rough, okay? If you roughen this up, think what's going to do to the belt. It's just going to be like a sander. So I've only literally just very, very lightly rubbed it off. And that's all clean now. Right, pop that back in there. And that goes. Now, it's a bit of a job, okay? It is literally a bit of a wiggle, this. Because unlike the Speed Fight, which is smooth, this has got teeth all the way through it. So it's a case of getting it all the way back. Come on. A bit of a wiggle. It's catching on a little bit of teeth. There we go. Now that's right back. Okay, right back. Nice bit of teeth now, you should be able to see there. Okay, don't forget to put the belt on. I've done it before. Well, I've put it all back on and then thought the belt's not connected, but you need to do that. And this was saying about the star bendix goes in there. Now, when you've got this on, okay, you can put it in before. I can now, but and this does come out. It's a bit of a wiggle. You have to sort of turn it left and right, and it will come out that way. But obviously, when you're getting it off, you need as much leverage as you can. So obviously, that's there, and I'm happy with that. That's fully on. This has got teeth on it as well, actually, humorously enough. Now, getting it back on is going to be a little bit more of a job because it's going to go that way. So that's why I put the starter bendix in. If it damages it, I'll take that out actually. So actually, if I put it there, and that's not going to damage the bendix at all. You don't want to use that as a leverage. A plastic frame here, a little bit of metal there, that's fine. Okay, and then I will just put a tiny bit of WD on here, tiny bit, just to get you to start again. And then obviously my long old bar, and yeah, we'll cook them with gas again. A big case of then just popping it in, and this should go a lot better. What the rollers do you remember I've showed you in a video, is that this belt goes out here, and in here this gets smaller, so it's just like a push bike in gears. The bigger the back cog, the faster the bike will go in lower gears. The smaller, the more strain it is on the engine. What these were doing, because they're so light, they really are light, they're not damaged, you know, there's lots of bit of crap on them, so they probably weren't moving in and out, but they're not damaged, they're not gone square. I've shown you lots of pictures. Have I got any? No. I've shown you lots of pictures there. Look at the difference in size. That's a Speed Fight. This one here's Speed Fight, and this here's an RG. But I've shown you before, you can see there's flat spots on this. There you go, look at that flat spot. That is knackered. Throw away. These are just too light. They're probably about 3 grams. So this person was after top end, so keeping that really big and that really small means you've got like 55, 60 miles an hour, which these actually do. Not for long, because the good old head goes on these quite a bit if you're really bagging it. If you are doing top speed on these for prolonged distance, you know, these are great whipping around town. And yeah. If you are doing prolonged distance, just as a tip, fully throttle and just lack it off a bit, and then give it some again, lack it off. You know, you got to keep doing this all the time, but that will help because it adjusts the oil balance to give a bit more oil in there, and then puts the petrol back through again, and just much better really. That's what me personally does anyway. That's not even English, is it? Me personally does. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'll now hold that, I'll tighten that on, I'll put the case back on again, and that'll be job done. Then give it a quick test, and I reckon this will pull away much nicer. You may not have so much top end. You're going to give away about 3 miles an hour probably, but with a bike you can do 50 odd miles an hour in. That's brilliant, you know. I mean, eventually it will get there. It will get there, but it won't be, you know, this seemed to have like a turbo, as it were. It was very slow pull away. You slowed about 20, 30 miles an hour, and then you felt it pull away because it got, you know, it did it happily. Now it'd be much, much smoother, more controlled, and I'm going to keep these. I'm going to clean them up and keep them, just in case I get another NRG in that has got really knackered ones, or one or two that are, you know, damaged, and I can swap them over. They're only £10, you know. This is a simple fix for a tenner with, you know, mould grips, 15mm. This is not 14, and general tools you can use where you'll find otherwise it's not. Right, enough chatting. Take care, guys. Check out my other videos. There are loads on there of speed fights and all the other little bits and bobs. Everything you can imagine about breaking down and so on. And I mean breaking down the engine, not breaking down. So there you go. Take care, guys. Bye bye.